Hello class, in this tutorial I am going to show you what you need to do for problem 6.10. We can do this all within PHStat. What you see on the screen right now is basically pretty much how the output's going to look with PHStat. It's got this crooked looking display, but it's going to give us all the information we want in a couple clicks. So for part A, it's asking for a probability of getting a grade below 90. Let's just start with PHStat. So we're going to go to add-ins, PHStat, probability and distributions, and then normal. We have a mean of 73 and a standard deviation of 8 from the problem. This first checkbox, that's going to help us answer part A, because this is asking for grades less than or equal to 91. Oop, we want that in this box. Part B is asking for the probability for a range. So guess what? We can check this box here and put in our range of 65 and 89 right here. And then part C is asking for the probability of the 5% students taking the test scores are higher than what grade. So this is basically asking for a cumulative percentage of actually 95%. So we need to do 5% minus 1, which is going to give us 95%. So we're just going to put that in. So here, these three checkboxes here are going to give us A, B, and C, which I have labeled here. So let's just give this a quick title, 6.1 A to C, and click OK. There we have it. So this is our percentage probability for A, our range for B, and our test score needed for C. Now D is a little bit different, and I have this information down here because it's going to populate under. I would suggest doing it separately because you have to, basically. Because this problem is asking you to compare what we did, but with another set of data. So in D, we have our mean, our score and our mean or standard deviation from the beginning of the problem, but then we're also given a new set, a new score, a new mean, and a new standard deviation of 68, 62, and 3. So the first thing you need to do is just calculate the generic z-scores for each of these sets of data. So if you remember from last week, the z-score is the raw score minus the mean divided by the standard deviation, which I have here, which is 1, and you can see I just have the formula here. Up here in the top, I just subtracted this, and divided by this, and notice the order of operations, and then did it again with the new data for part D. So the score, the mean, and the new standard deviation. So I got two different z-scores here, 1 and 2. And basically what we need to do is that we need to compare this against what the problem is asking for. It's asking if your professor grades on a curve gives A's to the top 10% of the class. Now, if you remember what we did earlier in C, we need to subtract that 10 from 1 and to get 90%. And that's what we need to find a z-score for. So I did that here, which is no different than what we did earlier. We went to decision making, probability, normal. We put in our initial mean of 73, our standard deviation of 8, and then our cumulative percentage here for 90, and this was for part D. So we get this z value of 1.28. We need to compare that 1.28 to our z-scores of 1 and 2, and we can see that 1 is below 1.28 and 2 is above 1.28. So we have more leeway here with the second option. So it's better to get a grade of 68 than a grade of 81 on the second test. Okay, that's it. Any questions, just ask.